Devastator! Hey guys, it's the Gundam Boy, and today we're going to be taking a look at the EXO Breakthrough, which you can get from the EXO Experts War Bond. And right off the rip, I gotta say, this is probably one of the more unique mechs we've ever been introduced to in the game, and I think it's pretty clear. Today we're going to take a look at this stratagem stats, what it can do, and how well it fares on each front. And we'll even take a look at some strategies you can implement into your combat. So let's start off with the weapons. The Breakthrough has a revolving shotgun, which has 40 pellets each shot, 90 damage with a durable of 30, and its heavy pen, while also rocking a fat stagger force of 40. Like any shotgun in any video game, this thing is highly inaccurate after a certain distance. Because of that short barrel, the shotgun has a massive spread, which will absolutely saturate an entire area. This is a very close quarters combat mech, as you can already tell, because at 56 meters, it's already having a pretty big spread. But if you could point all of those pellets right in their face, you'd be doing 3,600 damage right there on the spot, which means this mech has a lot of good damage potential as long as you're up close. But it only has one shotgun. Unlike its relatives who do have two dual-wielding weapons, the Breakthrough is really limited, but that doesn't mean it can't fight. Something important to note is that when you start reloading the gun, there is no stopping it, which can make it a little awkward for certain timings in combat, but you can get around this by opening your map mid-reload to stop it and let you fire. Otherwise, you'll be committed to an entire reload. And then the thing that makes this mech really unique is the giant-ass ballistic shield they decide to give it, which has 500 melee damage and a durable of 500, with it having a big swing of heavy pen, and a pretty fat demolition force with a heavy stagger force as well. This is your mech's answer for anybody who gets too close. And if they had the option to make a melee weapon out of a mech, it brings hope to my heart we can get something like the Gym Striker. The hitbox on the mech is really wide, even being included at the very top of the shield, making it very easy to hit any target no matter where they may be standing.
I
step on you? Did I eat you?
No.
No, you are currently packed in the back of my mech right now.
I got yoinked by your box.
Oh my
your box
God.
kidnapping service.
There is a pretty big design flaw that Arrowhead missed when developing this mech, and it's that the hitbox of the arm goes right through the shield. There's a very specific segment of the ballistic shield that directs all the damage to the main arm, which transfers all the damage, breaking the arm from the outside, which is absolutely ridiculous. I don't know how you missed that, which is absolutely unfortunate for this mech, because you want a shield mech to block stuff, not blow its arm off from the outside. No, it's your foot. It's your foot and your hand. What the fuck? You should have seen how fast I inputted my feedback on that. It took me like 5 seconds to find the bug on the mech, dude. I was so mad. But there is something that the devs added into the game that makes it a lot easier for mechs to survive more brutal fights. While the legs aren't a fatal breakpoint anymore, it doesn't mean you're any less safe, and it will still transfer a large amount of that damage to the main health pool.
My legs. Oh wait, why am I walking fast? Why does it feel? It feels faster than when one leg's broken.
I don't know, man. Don't ask me. I just play the game. I play the game and I do my best to explain what's wrong with it. I'm just saying, keep an eye out for your legs. They still transfer damage and will kill you, because they still output more damage than if you're getting hit anywhere else on your body. It'd actually be neat to see this mechanic applied to the arms as well, because the arms always just kind of pop off and vanish. While the shield can block a lot of damage, explosive damage isn't one of those things, as it will still bypass the actual shield hitting the mech on the inside. And yes, I know I'm using a grenade launcher, Helldivers hit harder, yada yada yada, but this is just for the sake of a test. I'm just trying to showcase that the damage can still transfer. In terms of combat, this mech does something completely different that the others don't, and well, beating the crap out of them is one of them. Oh, I just split that fuck down the middle! As I never thought I'd be trying to get into melee distance with certain enemy units. As we already can tell, open environments is not going to be very friendly if you're going up against something like the bots. The automatons do have a little bit more range when it comes to combat, so you will be using more of an ambush tactic or just waiting around corners to lull enemies in, but you're going to want to use a lot of the environment to your advantage, especially when you start pressing the attack, as your mech has no real long-range options. This is mostly a challenge for the Breakthrough on the automaton front, and a light threat when you consider the other Illuminate sub-factions. Other than that, the mech's main fighting style is going to be shield bashing and shotgunning anything that gets too close. Hey, who put this bug on my shield? And this mech is fully capable of slugging it out with heavy units, as it has a heavy pen melee and a heavy pen shotgun. But there is still a type of enemy that you have to look out for while using this mech. Any enemy that has the possibility to explode is really bad for your mech. Hitting something like a Rocket Scout Strider really did some damage to my mech, as shortly after I got shot by a few rounds and my arm blew off, which is a big problem if you're going up against something like the Bugs, as they have a variety of explosive units you can face off with. And while they're not as deadly as a Scout Strider blowing up, you still have to keep in mind oversaturation of their ass acid will break your mech down over time. Knowing which targets to melee and which ones not to melee will keep your mech alive a little bit longer. Starting on the Illuminate front, we can already tell how this mech's gonna perform, and it's pretty good. Has heavy pen on both its melee and its shotgun. I think it's pretty straightforward on how well it's gonna fare here. It's a perfect mech option for me when I want to go in there and show the overseers what it feels like to get hit by their Q-tip. They have a fat chance of winning any engagement when you pull up with this mech. Even going up against flesh mobs, you're going to win most of these engagements, as you can out-stagger them and two-shot them with your shotgun as an option. It basically becomes a bully fest. Some of their heavier units, like the Harvester, doesn't have a chance, especially when you can beat them to death by just smacking them in their toe.
Got him! The toe shots!
The other option is to just dump him in the eye and just watch him fall over. Grand majority of the enemies on the Illuminate front really don't have a counter option except for Leviathans. The ballistic shield makes it really easy to clean up enemies.
Oh, that did not fly nearly as far. You just wow me?
Wow.
Going up against the Appropriators, well, the EXO Breakthrough performs pretty damn well against them all. Being able to stagger both units with both its shield and its shotgun makes it a very formidable foe. Whether it's the Velociraptor or the Gatekeeper, well, none of them can stand in your way. It's just all these little snitches that keep getting in the way! And no matter how much they back up, I can't seem to hit them unless they start firing their gun. They just keep taunting me like I can't melee you. Moving on to the bot front, where I would say it's going to struggle the most, just because the bots can shoot back at you. We already established that the EXO Breakthrough doesn't exactly have an answer to enemies at long distances, which a lot of the enemies that can pick you off at long ranges are massive threats to even your typical Helldiver, being like base cannons, factory striders, war striders, even Vox engines would be a bad threat. And with the overall defense of the exosuit, it'd be really easy to lose your arms. Using this mech on the bot front's gonna take a lot of finesse, as you're gonna want to use as much cover of the terrain. And whenever you try to find an opening, try to close the distance as fast as possible. Stay in the open for too long and not pay attention, and you'll saturate your mech quickly with damage. And once you get into that killing range, make sure to do it fast, as you can only absorb so much damage. This is where your shield comes in handy, as you can use it to block the actual shots that come towards you. You're gonna have to practice facing the enemy and slightly angling your shield in front of you. Compromising the automaton defense can actually be a great benefit for any exo diver, as you can eliminate a massive threat to all mechs. While it wouldn't be my first option for an open map, when it comes to cities, the EXO Breakthrough has some power, unless you get stuck on a goddamn light pole.
Do you believe this shit? Am I seeing this right now?
Once you take the Breakthrough into the city, this mech absolutely excels in clobbering everything that gets in your way, as you have way more cover to protect yourself, allowing you to better plan your attack angles with your team and coordinate some pretty good offensive maneuvers. And because your mech doesn't have any anti-tank capabilities, it means you're not really going to be helpful for demolition. You're mostly going to fulfill a combat role. And let me just say, this thing is a counter-Hulk weapon, whether it's the shotgun or the shield. Against all the Hulks, you basically have the advantage. Facing off with something like a War Strider, before they start shooting at you, you can suppress them with your shotgun, allowing you to get in close to finish them off. The heavy amount of stagger on the shotgun will let you absolutely juggle. The only places you can really damage a Factory Strider is on any exposed armor points or shooting them in the belly. In other cases, if your teammate cracks the armor on a Factory Strider, it gives you a better edge. And just don't bring it against the Vox engine. Of course, going up against the bugs, it's an absolute wash. A grand majority of the chaff units here cannot do anything against a mech that does 500 melee damage in one swing. And include that big-ass shotgun, and you basically level a large portion of the playing field. All the basic bugs don't really have a counter against you.
Where are you going, Alpha Commander?
It's real easy to show you how powerful this mech is, as long as the enemies don't disappear off the field.
What the fucking There's no way! Did you see that? The whole patrol despawned!
Turn around, you just see
You don't
two
get the running from me!
This mech is fully capable of standing toe-to-toe against something like a Bile Titan, juggling him and disarming him in all different ways of slaughtering him. Now I can finally show the Chargers what it feels like to be run over. However, as we established earlier, bugs that explode is not a good option for this mech. It's going to whittle down your mech really fast. And of course, the Rupture Strain is a pretty bad matchup for it as well, because, well, most of the bugs are underground and they will not have an option to kick them out. The Breakthrough mech is one of those few weapons that you get in the game that makes you go, what the fuck did they decide to add in? Because I'm pretty sure most of us were expecting the Lumber mech to be the best between the two, but I think more people are actually excited for the Breakthrough mech than they were for the Lumber after. This is a good example of Airhead making a weapon that's both fun and viable. But I can't ignore the fact that a shield mech has a massive flaw with its own shield. It's kind of the whole gimmick of it. So, you know I'm going to be telling the devs about it, and they should get that fixed as soon as possible. What do you guys personally think about this mech? I personally enjoy it. Feels like I'm like a goddamn Gundam in the field. But that is the end of the video, and I will see you guys next time. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hype the video, eat your dog, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Oh, and don't forget to check out my merch. Link in the description. Bye-bye.